And now, for today's program, George Reed, our terrific program chairman, will introduce Jake Skifstad.
Hey, Fabrizio?
Yes.
Can he have a walk-around mic? I think he's going to want to use the walk-around mic, if that's okay.
I'm sorry? Oh, yes.
I'll use the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an opportunity to learn about a nonprofit organization that's very near and dear to my heart. But I thought by way of introduction, it might be best to show a news program about Shield 616 that tells the story better than I could. So we're going to tempt the technology gods here and see if we can get the video up. And if we do, we'll enjoy it.
Reports of mass shootings and violence against law enforcement officials increase across the nation. One group here in Colorado Springs is hoping to better protect the men and women in uniform. Tonight, 14 local officers and one sheriff's deputy are getting brand new ballistic vests that can protect them against higher caliber guns like the AR-15. Fox 41's Macy Eglin joins us live in the newsroom with how these could have better protected officers like Garrett Swayze in active shooter situations. Macy.
Cody, the vest kits come with a new helmet, glasses, a gunshot wound trauma kit, and much more that can help protect our local law enforcement. Now, each of those kits cost $1,000, and they were all donated by local community members.
The community knows that these brave men and women, they desperately need the better protection against these rifle threats that seem to be popping up more and more, unfortunately.
Jake Skifstad is the founder of Shield 616, the nonprofit that made this donation possible. And he says these kits are more important now than ever.
They're having to go out and protect their local communities against a threat that they're not even protected against. They really need encouragement and support and prayer right now. They're under attack, it seems like, and we got to rise up and stand behind our men and women who live.
Officer Albert Flores has been with the department for 18 years and says it's nice to know the community cares.
It shows appreciation for what we do. It shows that there are people out there that actually care about it, especially if they're getting joy off. You know, it just fills their heart.
These kits are created for active shooter situations. And some say if Garrett Swayze had one on Black Friday, he may still be here today.
You know, he went in there and the guy shot right through his vest. And when Jake showed me these new vests, this would have saved Garrett Swayze's life. If the police department doesn't have the budget for it, the community's got to come out of pocket.
And thanks to people like Mueller, 15 more members of our local law enforcement can protect the citizens and themselves.
I just wish that every single officer on the department could get issued one of these because, you know, we all value our lives just like you value your lives. You want to go home at night? We want to go home at night at the end of our shift.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Skifstad, President and founder of Shield 616.
Well, thank you very much. First thing, it's been made very clear to me that I have 20 minutes to talk, so I'm going to start my watch right now. Because when I first rolled this out to my pastor at my church, he made the mistake of telling me, hey, take your time. I ended up speaking the whole service. So, but I want to give a shout out to John, 90 years. That's pretty phenomenal. I was looking at your name tag and it says medical doctor on there, so I think I need to change doctors and get what kind of advice you have for long-term health. So, but what is also impressive is your 50 years at Rotary. My parents were 9 when you joined, so put that in perspective. So. But it is a pleasure to be here, and George, thank you for inviting me. And you know, this is critical to our ministry because we got to get out here and get our word spread. The first thing that I'm going to do. Pastors always cringe when I say this. I want to pass something around. It's not an offering basket. While I'm talking, this is one of our plates. Okay, it's a small version. We'll also handle the full size, but this was shot with the same caliber weapon that we were up against in Planned Parenthood. It was shot with an SKS 7.62 rifle, and we wanted you to see it. So it's shot 3 times. You can see the bullet holes in the front, but look at the back. A lot of people call it dimpling. It's you know, defacing the back. You can see the velocity that's behind that. This is why this is so critical. So, Mike, I'm going to give this to you. If you want to please start handing that around. If you want to slip dollar bills inside it, that's fine. Just kidding. Like George said, my name is Jake Skifstad. I am the founder and president. I was a police officer with the Colorado Springs Police Department for just over 13 and a half years. Thankfully, I am blessed. I was able to walk away from law enforcement this past May 1st to do this full time. We are growing that much and it needed full-time attention. And being on the SWAT team, it was just way too difficult to manage a 24/7 pager and do what I had to do for this ministry. So as of May 1st, people call it retirement, and I say it is now retirement. I'm more busy now than ever. But the story of SHIELD 616 goes back to December of 2007, when as a police officer I was involved in the New Life active shooter. And if all of you guys remember that one, thankfully that threat was stopped before the first officer got there. But being there and seeing the death of the victims, even the suspect, to see that he had a rifle, but to see bullet holes in the church, in the walls, in the glass, in the vehicles, that really affected me. It affected all of us that were there. And I remember going home that night talking with my wife, telling her, hey, if this guy was still active when we got there, we were going up against a threat that we had no protection against. A lot of people don't realize that. When you see the men and women in uniform, that soft vest we're wearing in our uniform will only stop a